Hey, Chrissy, I'm here, boo. I ain't leaving you. I'm coming. I be over here. I be just trying to get the screens and everything. Make it look nice for you when you get here and before I go live. So check it. This is the Tony Earls Jr. trial. He was found guilty of manslaughter of Arlene yesterday. In regards to manslaughter. We listened to the store clerk's testimony earlier. Right now, we're in the prosecution's portion of the sentencing phase. This is the second witness that's coming up to the stand. You guys let me know. Oh shoot! Stop the press. Look a pretty brown out here. Pretty brown eyes. Oh, you done put you and your boo up here. Oh, look at that picture. Look a pretty brown girl and the boo. Girl, shoot, is that Chris Brown? Wait a minute. I need answers. He kind of look like Chris Brown to me. I think we seen Tanya. Is that really that's Chris Brown? Y'all that's your boo. He looked like Chris Brown now, dang it. Is that his brother? Oh, that's Breezy for real. Oh, okay. Girl, cause I about to say, is your boo, your fiance his brother? Cause dang, they look just alike. Was you one of the girls that got brought up on the stage? I need to know details, Pretty Brown. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now that's one for the keeping, right? Right, therapist. I can't deal with you. She's so silly. She telling all her secrets. I can't. She's so silly. You are fun, T. You are too funty. So the therapist say, hey, she rocks her hips and wave and sip. Right? I ain't even gonna try to tear up the lyrics because I will. Because I surely will. Especially when she be talking about she got that bootylicious bubble gum. I don't know no lyrics. Don't pay me no attention. Don't quote me. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna have to update the banner. The banner. So it looks like here they have the second witness that they're bringing up. I'm not sure how many witnesses they're bringing up, but it doesn't look like they had a long court day. If that's any notion to you guys. You say sometimes the song sound better with your own words. I tell you, I be making up all types of stuff if I can't understand it. Hey, Just Shamrock. I do it all the time, Christy. Like it should say this, right? I tell you, it was one song I was singing for a long, long time, and finally one of my kids was like, that is not what they are saying. Like, code check me, stop me in my tracks, and told me that is not it. And I said, oh, I would have never knew that if you wouldn't have told me that. Yeah, and you know what? And I say whatever I want to say, but it get weird when you be trying to repeat lyrics and hmm, hmm. Let Jason tell it. I tear up everybody's song, so it is what it is. I just tear them up. Just tear them up. All right, so we gonna get in here and listen at what they have in regards to his sentencing phase. The next witness. If you guys didn't see it earlier, we did listen to the store clerk who came in and testified for the prosecution team in regards to the incident involving his stepson, which was in 2023, where he assaulted his stepson on video inside the store. He also testified in regards to the habits that Mr. Tony has in regards to carrying his weapon all the time. So let's see what we have.
Does witness hasn't been sworn in?
He's ready to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I'm sorry. Step up here, Justice Machination.
Water for you, if you could do me a favor, sit and roll up your chair. If Ms. Wilshire is ever okay, that means you're speaking too fast. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, could you please state your name to the jury,
My name is Kelly Yeamans.
and how are you employed?
I'm employed with the Houston Police Department. I've been with them for 14 years.
And let's talk a little bit about your 14-year career. Start off in patrol,
Yes, sir.
and how long were you in patrol?
I did patrol for 3 years.
And then after that, what did you do?
After 3 years on patrol, I then applied for an investigative unit called Investigative First Responder, which is pretty much a mixture of being a patrol officer, but also getting to follow up on good leads on Part 1 crimes, such as your burglaries, thefts, robberies. So we would pretty much be assigned investigative cases, but we could also, if patrol had a suspect in custody for one of those crimes that I mentioned, like a robbery, we could actually go out, make that scene, and take over the scene from patrol to free them up to run calls for service.
And you did that for 3 years?
I did that for 2 years.
And then after that, what did you do?
After that, I then applied for special victims. I went and did a year as an investigator for child sex crimes.
And then after that, you did child sex crimes.
After a year in child sex crimes, I then did an internal transfer to family violence, and I was a family violence investigator for about 7 years.
And is that where you are today?
I actually promoted in September of 2023, so I became a sergeant, and then I went and did a year as a patrol sergeant, and then I landed back in family violence. I'm in family violence currently as an administrative sergeant.
Explain to us what the criteria is for a police officer to become a sergeant.
Okay, so every 2 years we have promotional exams. You believe you have to at least have 5 years on before you can promote to a sergeant. So you have to study for a test. We have a written exam. We take the written exam, depending on how well you score on the written exam. You then move on to the assessment part. So you then do an assessment where you're pretty much in front of a computer answering various questions. That's assessment.
You're speaking too fast.
Yes, sir. Apologize. You then do the assessment part, and eventually everything's calculated, your score on your written exam, the score on the assessment, as well as other factors such as if you have any education, your time on, all those scores go into how you score on the test.
And then is it common to go back to patrol as a sergeant when you promote?
Yes, yes, sir.
But then you came back to family violence because I'm assuming that's one of the areas of your interest.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Now, we interrupted your vacation. Is that accurate?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
You and your family were driving to Montana.
Yes, sir.
Objection, Your Honor, relevance. Continue.
Anyway, we made you come back.
Yes, yes,
We
sir.
appreciate you coming back.
Absolutely.
You're here to testify regarding incident number 442-01723. Was that your case that you were assigned?
Yes, sir. I investigated that case.
And can you tell us how the case came in?
Okay. So a family violence report was made by a patrol officer. In this case, the complainant in this case came in to follow up on the police report that he made. And I was the investigator that spoke to him once he came into the family violence division. I was the investigator that took in the case and spoke to him about this case. So he came in to follow up with us, and that's how I became assigned to it.
So patrol will take the report, and then if the complainant is there, you're going to interview them.
Yes, so patrol makes the calls for service drops. Patrol will make the original reports. Then generally the special victims or victim services would call the complainants, tell them the process to come in, and then the complainants would follow up in the various family violence units. We have 4 different units. They come in to follow up on the report to press charges.
And so did you interview the complainant in this case?
Yes, sir, I did.
And was that in person?
Yes, sir.
And is that someone named Dearman, Julian, Hines, Grismore?
Yes, sir.
And the date of birth is July 15th of 1999.
Yes, sir.
May I approach the witness, sir?
You may, sir.
Sergeant, I'm going to show you what's been marked. It states 187 is already admitted into evidence. Is this a fair and accurate depiction of the complainant victim in this case?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you know that he also went by the nickname Knowledge?
I did not.
So you take a statement from him. And judged by agreement of the parties, I'm going to ask him here, say here.
Okay.
Did you ask him if on the first incident, the nighttime incident, whether he had a gun on his person?
Yes, I did.
And what was his response?
He said he did not have a gun on him.
And did you ask him if he had mace on him?
I did.
And what was his response?
He did not have mace on him.
And what did he say he had on his person?
Just give me 1 second. He stated that he had a pocket knife in his right pocket, and a pocket knife and a lighter in his right pocket during this incident.
We approached, I'm sorry, Your Honor, we approached.
You asked him whether he had a taser. Is that right?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay. So you didn't ask him with mace. You said, did you have a gun? He said no. And did you have a taser? He said no.
That's correct. He did not. He stated he did not have a taser or a gun
And it was a pocket knife
and a lighter.
They'll have some questions about that. All right, so you take the statement, and what do you then do once you take his statement?
So when he first comes in, I took a written statement from him. I then also have to do a criminal background check on all the parties involved. So
Okay,
in
let's
this,
not get into that.
Okay.
Was there anything on him? That was
Okay. no, like I said, no.
All right, so then what did you then do?
Okay, after I take a written statement from him, I then had to get the suspect positively identified. And in this case, the complainant knew the suspect by name and sight and provided identifying information for us and able to pull his Texas driver's license. So the complainant then positively identified the suspect in this case by his Texas driver's license.
And what did you know his name to be?
It's Tony Earls.
And you see, based on that Texas driver's license, that of the identification, you see Mr. Earls in the courtroom today.
Yes, sir.
you please point to him and describe what article of clothing he's wearing today?
Okay. He's sitting over here to my left. He's wearing a white button-up shirt with a purple tie.
Sorry, I made the record reflect she's identified the defendant in court.
The record reflect,
Okay, thank you.
identify the defendant. You may continue.
Okay, so then what do you do once you have him identified?
Once I identified him, and after he filled out some paperwork, the complainant left. And a few days later, I then reached back out to the complainant and took a recorded statement over the phone.
Did you end up going to the convenience store location of the incidents?
Yes, sir, I did.
And did you speak to one of the owners?
Yes, sir. I, along with another detective, went out to the convenience store and spoke with Ali at the store.
And did he provide you with a recording of two different incidents?
Yes, sir, he did.
And was that from the surveillance system on his phone?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go ahead and publish it's already been admitted into evidence. 186. See if it's the same one that you got. So that was the incident that occurred the previous evening. When you're at the store, was the owner that had witnessed the second event the next day, was he there?
The first person I spoke to and collected the video from did not witness that incident,
Correct.
but he did witness the incident the next day.
Exactly. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I'm gonna play that incident that was the next day.
Okay.
Now, when you were interviewing the complainant regarding both of these instances, I know you said you'd asked him if he had a gun the night before, he said no. Did you ask him if he had, meaning the complainant, if he had a gun on him during this incident?
Yes,
And what was his response?
he stated that he did.
And do we know if the defendant had anything in that fanny pack that you see him putting on?
No,
And did you determine the relationship of the parties was father, stepson?
yes, sir.
And in the course of this investigation, did you ever talk to the mother of the stepson?
Do not believe that I did.
Did you classify the second incident as a mutual combat?
Yes, sir.
And did you end up getting charges for the incident the previous night?
Yes, sir.
And what was it?
It was ag assault family member.
And does the presence of the gun make it aggravated?
Yes, sir.
At that time, was the complainant fearful of the defendant?
That you calls for speculation.
That's a spin.
Now, after this incident, and after you retrieved the video, did you end up having an interview with the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Was that over the phone or in person?
It was over the phone.
Can I first witness, Judge? You show you respect to State's Exhibit 188. You see your initials on there. Do you recognize it?
Yes, sir.
Is this jump drive containing the actual interview that you conducted?
Yes, sir.
So tell us how that works. So you are on a phone, and how do you record the interview?
Oh, we have recorders, and then we have a recorder adapter attached to our office phone. So we're able to connect the recorder and then dial out on our office phones and record all statements that way.
And that recording device is capable of making accurate recordings.
Yes, sir.
And the only two voices on you as well as the defendant on here.
That's correct. Yes,
And
sir.
this very inaccurately depicts the interview.
Yes, sir.
All right, this time, State Office 188, evidence actually 10 minutes of opposing counsel.
We approach your honor.
I'm going to try and call the suspect.
Whereas when you talk to the complainant, when you asked about whether he had a gun on the night incident outside the convenience store, I think he said he did not, correct?
He said he did not have a gun.
But on the mutual combat video that we watched the next day, did you ask whether he had a gun?
Yes,
And his answer was.
he said he did have a gun.
And then as far as Ms. Hines, his mom, was she involved in this investigation at all?
I did not speak to her during my investigation, but she did provide a statement to the original patrol officer.
Along with her son Sam.
Correct. Yes, sir. This is a
I work it. So it was, and y'all
6903 report that mentions your name. It's a police report that was made by a Darren Hines Grismore. Do you know who that is?
yes,
Who was that to you?
there was that's my ex-wife's son.
Okay. So kind of like a stepson to you, correct? And all these happened at a little convenience store off of 6903 Boulevard. Do you know what I'm talking about?
How come he's the aggressor and y'all coming to me?
Oh, so again, he made the police report. So I'm the one that's assigned this case, and now I'm speaking to you in regards to your side of the story.
Okay, this is the side of the story. I work at the location at the store. The store you're referring to off the MFA, that's where I work at. So one day, the day, the first day, not the second day, the fight, the first night that you're talking about, all right, when I got off work, everybody was telling me that it was a little dude that had pulled a gun out on my stepson and cocked it and was getting ready to shoot him outside of the store. And it was a guy that was standing outside. His name is Warehouse. And he had saw the dude pull the gun out and he stopped the dude from shooting my stepson. So I was like, dang, I didn't know all that took place at the store. So when he told me about it, when everybody told me about it, the store owner even told me about it. So I was like, wow, why y'all wait so late at night to tell me about it? So then I called his mom and told his mom, and his mom called him and told him of whatever they had their conversation about. Whatever conversation they had their conversation. So now I'm still sitting in front of the store with the guy that owns the store and a couple of more people. And now my stepson come storming down there. He's pissed. He starts cursing and talking about, oh, hoe ass nigga, you called my mom. I'm like, yes, I did call your mom because your life is in danger, bro. You feel me? So as soon as I say that, he started digging in his pocket. I'm like, what are you digging for, bro? He said he's digging in his pocket. I'm like, nah, don't tell me you got no gun on your possessions, bro. And he started digging. So while he digging, I can see the handle of the gun when he tried to pull it out of his pants. So therefore, I pull out my gun and I say, nah, that's how people get killed, doing stupid shit like what you're doing. So then the owner of the store said, man, you guys tripping, like, go. Then he went down back to the barbershop where he was originally with Ed, and then I left. And then the next morning, no, let me continue. So I called his mom and told his mom what just happened. She got mad and told me that I had to leave. So I'm like, okay, cool, bring me my stuff and I'll leave. Because he already.
I was trying to close some of my windows so I can get back at y'all, get back with y'all, that I closed the wrong window. Let me get it back up. It must have been meant to be. Let me put it back on here for us. Sorry. Let me make sure I get it on the big screen.
He'll kill me in my sleep while we together in the house. He already spoke that into like, okay, and then nobody do nothing about it. Then nobody say nothing about it. So you know what I'm saying? That happened. So now this happened, and now that she want to kick me out, so I leave. All right. The next day I come to work. I don't even come to work. They call me and ask you, am I coming to work? I say, yeah, I'm coming to work. So when I get to work, now he come in the store like he see me come to work. So now he see me going inside of my place of business to work. He come in the inside with his gun, talking a whole bunch of shit. I'm like, oh, hoe ass nigga, fuck you, oh, hoe ass nigga, oh, bitch ass nigga. So I'm like, nah, I'm not a bitch ass nigga, you a bitch ass nigga. And then next thing you know, I walk past him, he hit me in my face, boom. And then when he hit me in my face, he go and try to grab the gun that's in his pocket. So when he grabbed the gun in his pocket, I have no choice but to defend myself. So I hit him in his face 2 times, boom, boom. And then after that, the gun go flying over there. The guy that was in the store, he picked up the gun. You know what I'm saying? And when I started gunning, I started just really started hitting even more. And then the other store owner, they brothers. So the other store owner, he came and he stopped it, and then he left out. And then I said, hey, bro, let me see that gun. So but the guy that picked up the gun, I took the gun from him and gave it to the store owner and said, don't give it to nobody, give it to the police when the police come and look for the video, because that is my proof that I didn't do nothing wrong. In no scenario that both events that took place, I didn't do nothing wrong. He came to me aggressively with a pistol in his pocket, and he came to me the second day, and he hit me with the pistol in his pocket.
He hit you with the pistol?
No, he hit me in my mouth, and then he tried to grab for his pistol.
Okay, and so on the second day, you both were hitting each other
Yeah, that's the second
with
day.
your hands?
Yes.
Okay. And the first day, you're saying that pretty much you grabbed the pistol because you saw that he had a
No.
butt of a gun.
Yeah, he had his pocket.
Where did you grab your pistol from?
From my wife.
Okay, and it's the gun that belongs to you?
Yes.
What kind of gun is it?
It's a 9, but I don't have it no more.
Why, you don't have it anymore?
No,
What'd you do with it?
I sold it.
You sold it after this incident?
I sold it like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, this I didn't sell it because of that incident. I sold it because I needed some money for my living situation.
Okay. Is there anything else that you recall from these incidents that you'd like to tell me?
I'm afraid of my life because once that took place, and I tried to tell everybody that he was about to get shot by somebody, how he messed up, and everybody like he's gonna get shot because I say that's how kids are. So then now it's like, oh, we're gonna send somebody to come and kill you, and we gonna like people come telling me like they want me to get in a car with them to drive me to a location so they can pop me and shoot me in the head so I could die like that. Like I don't know what to do. Like,
So he didn't mention about anything else. He says that you were kind of running your mouth about him, about apparently not doing a good job at his place of work. And so he says when he came back to the store after his mom called him, he did approach you. He told you to keep his name out of his mouth, and that's when you proceeded to pull the handgun, and then you also pointed the gun at him.
All of that is lies, like that, like, you know what I'm saying? The video, you saw the video, you see the video, like the words that he's telling you is lies. Like I have actual witnesses, the store owner, like it's other people that was there that seen how aggressive he came and how he dug in his pocket. And I was sitting on the car. When he came to me, I was sitting on a car. And I'm looking at him the whole time while I'm sitting on the car, like, but what is you digging in your pockets for? Then when I seen that he had a pink taser in his pocket with the gun, he had a taser and he had a gun in the same pocket. So when he was trying to dig for the gun and pull out the gun, that's when he was like distinguishing the two to grab the two. You know what I'm saying? So when he was doing that, I seen him. But and the other guy that was standing right there too, he seen him butter the gun too.
Okay, and these are people that would be willing to speak to me?
Yes.
Okay, because unfortunately, I've seen the video, and the video is not really necessarily aligning with what you're saying.
Okay, even I give the numbers to the people who was outside the store owning me. Rashid, he was out there like.
So I'm literally watching the video right now, and you proceed to pull your gun from your front waistband, hold it in your left hand. You exchange words. His one hand is not even in his pockets at all. You proceed to point the pistol in his face. You then go inside the store. He is smoking a cigarette. He literally now has both his hands showing, not in his pockets. So can you explain that to me?
You're not okay. So can you rewind it a little bit before you say all of the negative things that you're saying? Can you rewind it to the point where you see me sitting on the truck?
That's correct. I see you sitting on the
Okay,
truck.
so you see me sitting on the truck. So now you see him coming down the sidewalk, aggressively talking to me, telling me I'm a whole ass nigga, and you don't see him digging in his pocket.
I have the video paused. When you choose to get off the car, both hands are out of his pockets.
So you telling me that you don't see him digging in his pocket
He's
at all?
literally smoking a
No,
cigarette. He's
I'm
smoking a
asking
cigarette with
a
one
question.
hand. He then goes into one of his pockets. You proceed to pull your pistol. He is smoking a cigarette. You are definitely mad at him. You kind of look like you almost lunge at him. You then proceed to pull the pistol up to him, point it at him, walk in the store. He then pulls his hand out of his pocket and walks in the store. Both
But you
hands
just said that he didn't have his hands in his pocket. But now you saying that he had his hands in his
That's correct.
pocket.
So like I said, you're saying that
So I'm telling you that
something in his pockets, correct?
I'm telling you that he had, when he was talking to me and he asked me this, when he came down there, he said, "Oh, bitch ass nigga, you told my mama?" And I said, "Yes, I did." When I said, "Yes, I did," he dug in his pocket like he was reaching for something. And I'm like, "What are you doing, Alex? You don't see none of that on video?"
So like I said, I'm
That's what I'm
saying,
saying.
so you pull your pistol. He does not pull any pistol, doesn't pull weapon. You pull your
But I'm
pistol.
telling you-
Why did you choose to raise the pistol and point it at him?
Because I'm telling you that I feel threatened because my life was in danger because I'm telling you, he said come in, and I know he have access to a gun at the barbershop, and he's digging in his pocket. So I don't know what's to assume.
Okay. Let's accept. So like I said, I'll use that as your statement that you saw he had his hand in his pocket, and you are aware that does he usually have a gun on him?
Yes.
Okay. So you saw him have a hand in his pocket, and you felt like he may have had a gun.
No, I didn't feel like I saw the gun. Me and another guy saw the gun.
Okay. I'm going to give you my name and number. They're going to have a day or two to call me and give me their side of the story. And then this case has got to be presented to the Harris County DA's office because I went to that store today and I spoke to the owner. One of the owners witnessed one of these incidents, but no one else spoke to me about anything else that they have seen or heard. This is people that are going to have to be willing to testify in a court of law. So they're going to need to give me their names, date of birth, and be willing to.
What actually am I being charged with?
So again, this is an open investigation in regards to an assault and an ag assault. So the assault that occurred inside the store, and then you pulling the pistol the day before.
So he hit me first, and then you telling me that I saw him, and
So
he hit
again,
me first, and you got it on video?
Look, there's two different incidents that are being investigated. The night before, where a pistol was pulled, and then the assault inside the store. I'm getting your side of the story. I've collected the video evidence. And I then present the case to the Harris County DA's office, and it'll be up to them on if they accept a charge in either of these cases. So there's two separate incidents that involve you and your stepson. There's the assault in the store on the 29th, and then there is the gun incident on the 28th. I haven't told you any charges have been accepted against you at this point. These are open investigations, which is why I'm speaking to you in regards to your side of the story.
Yeah, I understand. I'm trying to get the truth out, and not none of this tick for tat situation.
Again, I video evidence. So like I said, the
I understand.
Harris County DA's office as well.
I understand what you're saying, like, you don't have to be there, but I'm saying what led up to that. What you see on the video, what led up to that, I'm telling you what led up to that. He's digging in his pocket, made me feel uncomfortable and unsafe. So therefore, I had to defend my life.
Okay, like I said, then that's, like I said, that'll be your statement.
And here it is. I am sitting on the car. He come to me aggressively, and I come to work in the store. He hit me first.
And you're talking in regards to the assault, correct? Because it's something that
I'm talking about both situations. He was the aggressor in both situations.
Okay.
He was the instigator in both situations. That's what I'm saying. I just defended myself.
Okay,
That's all I did.
okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I would, you can give me your information. I don't have a pen right now. Let me look for a pen. But I need your information so I can give, my witnesses and the people that know what really happened. Like, they could call you and give you better outlook on
Well,
it.
if you work at that store, I gave my card to the gentleman working today. I believe his name's Ali.
Yeah,
So he has my business card. He has my name and information. He has my phone number. He has the case number on the back, and he even has an email address. So he has literally, it's a business card of mine because I'm hoping he can email me the video footage. So I'm gonna go ahead and give your witnesses until next Wednesday to call me. If I do not hear from them, I'm gonna go ahead and present this case. Okay?
They're gonna call you today. Once I get the information to give them, they will call you as soon as I give them the
And
information.
unfortunately, that store didn't hand over any pistol to the police department.
Because they gave it back to the owner of the barber shop.
Okay.
So therefore, the barber shop had to.
Pass witness, Judge. Funds.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to clear up something about that first incident. The one where there were two videos that we saw. We saw one at night and one at the daytime in a store, right?
Yes, sir.
The one at night is the one that you decided to file charges on, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the fight at the store, there were no charges filed, right?
Correct.
And that's the incident where the complainant in the case, the guy who goes by the name Knowledge, admitted to you he had a firearm at that fight, correct?
Yes, sir.
As far as this first incident, you asked, I'm gonna call him Knowledge. We know who we're talking about, right?
Yes, sir.
Complainant? All right. You asked Knowledge about the taser. I think you told Mr. Jordan that you'd asked about a taser.
Yes.
All right. And that's because you heard Mr. Earls reference a pink taser, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then, Judge, by agreement with the parties, we are just going to enter a stipulation that the complainant told us, the defense team, yesterday that he in fact was reaching for a can of mace that was pink with the intent of macing Mr. Earls in the face.
That's right. That is our stipulation. I don't believe he said whether it came out or not, but that was, he had one.
Correct.
That stipulation is accepted.
Okay, so let me ask a couple of other general questions. On that video that we saw where the assault charge, the aggravated assault charge was accepted, is right as Mr. Earls was opening the door where the gun comes out. Is that right? More or less. He's the way, and I promise I'm not trying to trick you. The way that I saw it, Mr. Earls was opening a door and then kind of had the gun out.
He had the gun out when he opened the door in his
Fair
left
enough.
hand.
Okay. And then he goes inside the business, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then we see in there, Mr. Knowledge is standing outside of that door, and then he decides to walk in after Mr. Earls, right?
He stands in the doorway.
But he walks actually into the business, doesn't he?
From what I remember on the video, he stands at the doorway.
Okay. He doesn't, I mean, the jury can, I'm not going to, they can get it when they go back. We don't need to replay the whole bunch. But bottom line, he did not run away from the situation, correct? The complainant did not.
No, sir.
Okay. He didn't call the police immediately at that stage, correct?
No, sir.
All right, he didn't do anything that would indicate that he was significantly scared at that point, right?
No, sir.
Now, as far as the neighborhood goes, this is a food store that's over on Cullen, is that correct? That general area?
I believe it was off of Martin Luther King.
Fair enough,
Boulevard.
off of Martin Luther King. Are you familiar with that area?
Yes, sir.
All right, would that be an area that, and you've been a police officer how long?
For 14 years.
Is that an area that, in your 14 years of being a police officer with the Houston Police Department, an area that you would say is kind of a high crime area?
Yes, sir.
Aggravated robberies are not unusual in that area, are they?
No, sir.
In fact, murders aren't unusual in that area, are they?
No, sir.
So you can certainly understand why someone might want to have a firearm for protection, can't you?
Objection calls for speculation.
You can certainly understand why someone might want to hold on to might have a firearm for protection in a high crime area, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, at the time that all these incidents that you're here to talk about happened, Mr. Earls was not facing any criminal charges at that point, correct?
Not that I know of.
Okay. And you're not aware of anything that made it illegal for him to have a gun, correct?
No, sir.
And in Texas, the law is open carry, right?
Yes, sir.
So, so he is permitted to carry a gun on him, correct?
Yes.
When on that first video, as Mr. Earls is sitting on the truck and the complainant starts walking toward him, and Mr. Earls he never fires a gun, right?
No, sir.
Okay, and in that second incident, there's no gunfire being exchanged, correct?
No, sir.
Pass a witness.
Thank you. Nothing further, Judge. May this witness be excused?
Please.
Thank you. Do you want to go to the witness and I'll stay? It's up to you. Absolutely. So enjoy y'all's lunch. And y'all enjoy y'all's lunch. We'll stand at recess for about an hour or so.
Just one more thing. Just one.
Just to have one more witness and then the judge might have to.
Of what I found. So this is the next portion. Y'all can already see this is the mom that's on the stand. This is them after lunch. So this is Arlene's mom, for those that don't know. I didn't know if they court date had ended early or not, but apparently they just broke it up into two different feeds. So we'll go ahead and jump into her testimony.
Yes. So my mom was a very strict mom. She always wanted me to learn everything on my own. Initial her Arlene because I feel like Arlene was connected with Armando, the AR, Arlene Armando, and I gave Armando the initials with Arlene. So Armando's name is Armando Luis Alvarez. So Arlene is Arlene Lynette Alvarez because I wanted Armando to feel connected to my daughter.
And I'll ask you briefly, the type of relationship you had with your mother was very different than you had with Arlene.
Yes. So my mom was a very strict mom. She always wanted me to learn everything on my own. She was more strict and she didn't want to confuse the relationship between a mom and a friend because she didn't want me to disrespect my mom. But with my daughter, I wanted to change everything. I wanted her to be my best friend and to always connect with me. And I wanted her to grow older and always come to me for anything. So that's the bond that I created with her. And she was my best friend.
So she was in the fourth grade, right?
Correct.
Was she a good student?
Excuse
Was
me?
she a good student?
Yes.
And you talked about you being a hairdresser. What were the types of things she was recently getting into when she was 9?
Oh, she had already mastered a blunt haircut. She already knew how to blow dry with a paddle brush and a roll brush. And she, when my customers would come to my hair salon, she already knew the code not to say that their hair was orange or yellow because my customers would panic. So she would tell everybody, do not say orange or yellow in my mom's hair salon because my mom's customers are gonna freak out. So do not say that. She already knew the color wheel too. She was very smart.
She was into nails, makeup.
Yes. So one time she approached to me, she was like, Mom, can you buy me a nail kit? And I'm like, no, because you cannot use the acrylic, Arlene. Those products are too strong. Mom, I got it. I want to do nails. So I ordered her the gel nail kit and everything. That day I had asked my mom if she could take care of Arlene because I had 4 customers. And I specialize in blonde, like platinum cards and all this stuff. So I was like, I'm going to be really busy, Mom. She was like, don't worry, leave her here. When I got back that day, Arlene already had her nails done. She did it by herself. She's like, Mom, see, I know, I have it in me. Like, I did my nails by my own. And that's it. That's all she had to do. Once she took off with her first nail set, she was already doing nails to everybody. She was the nail stylist in the family.
Can you describe her relationship with her brother, who was, I guess, 2 years younger?
So, my babies, I feel like I'm so close to all my babies because I breastfed all my kids. I nurtured my babies and I always took care of my kids. Wherever I worked, wherever I went, I always carried my kids with me because I thank my mom for making me the woman that I am now because my mom would only take care of my kids for emergencies. But she taught me that I always have to have my kids around me. I come from a family that they had used auto dealership. So I grew up in my dad's dealership. So that was nothing different for me. So I was like, okay, well, I grew up in my dad's business. My kids grow up in my business as well. And when we had Armando Jr., Arlene was only 2 years old. But whenever Armando Jr. was born, I was like, I'm weaning off my baby from my bed. So they both slept together since Armando Jr. was born. So all Armando knows and knew was the love and the connection with Arlene. So when we lost Arlene, it affected Armando Jr. so much. To a point where like his first year of Arlene's passing, he won't be on himself. He, until right now, is good. He has low grades in school, and we have him in special in a special ed program because we want him to focus on his school. And it has affected him a lot, but thankfully he comes from a family that we go hard on family celebrations. We distract him with activities. When we can, we vacation to distract. And we have a lot of family orientation and a lot of family support.
Let me ask you this, you had said that they would sleep in the same room, until about 7 months ago. Where was he sleeping?
Okay, so after passing, he would sleep in the living room. He didn't want to sleep in the bed by himself. And until barely right now, I was telling John Jordan that he has approximately 7-8 months that he barely adjusted to his bed. So he's barely sleeping in his bed, but he cannot sleep in his room without no light. He has to have a light. So we bought him a big LED light that changes colors. That way he could feel relaxed. He sleeps with rain music. I put rain music for him so he could relax.
And he did some school counseling, but so far has been resistant to counseling.
Yes.
I'm allowed to ask you, as Arlene's mother and the mother of your family, how has this, the loss of Arlene, affected you and your family?
Oh, none of us are the same. My husband's not the same. I'm not the same. Our mother Junior's not the same. And we've had trauma. We don't sleep well. We have had arguments between me and Armando because after all of this, we feel guilty as well. We feel guilty for going out for dinner. We feel guilty for trying to pay our bills because Armando and I.
Let me ask you, I'm not gonna go through everything, but that night, when y'all were going out, you feel somehow guilty for things about what transpired. And so, like, tell us a little bit about that.
So that day, I worked. I did hair because us as hairstylists, we get busy during the holidays. So Valentine's, everybody's trying to get all dolled up for their husbands, their boyfriends. So I was busy that day. Armando worked as well. But as soon as I finished, I told Arlene, let's go to Macy's. I want to see if your dad buys me something. Let's go buy him a cologne. So she's like, Mom, you know he ain't gonna buy you nothing. Why are you gonna buy him something? Girl, let's just go. Because I had bought her a breakable chocolate for her and my son. Now, I was sharing that my daughter, I was teaching her how to be strong and not to be dependent on anybody. So what would I do? On Valentine's and any special occasions, I would gift her all my love. You know, like I would make sure that she wasn't looking in the future for another man. I would make sure she wasn't looking for somebody for love. Like I wanted her to be self-independent. So by the time she grew, she wasn't so easily impressed. You know, I was teaching her that. So for Valentine's, I bought her a breakable heart for her and my son, and we did the whole Macy's thing. That's when she's like, Mom, I don't know why you're doing that. My dad's not gonna buy you nothing. That boy stays working. I'm like, well, we'll see. So we went home. Now, my son Armando brought his first 100. He said, Mom, I got 100. We're like, oh my God, we're gonna celebrate. You know, like.
Then let me stop you there. And then Armando works late.
Armando comes in late, right? So then Armando comes in, and then Arlene's like, my mom got you something, would you get her? And then he's like, oh my God. And then Arlene goes and gets the gift. What are you gonna give my mom? Mom, I told you, man, I didn't get you nothing, girl. Oh my God, I did all of that for nothing. So I was like, he's like, no. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I went to work and I gotta make it up for you. And then Armando comes, and on top of that, I got 102. And he's like, oh, well, let's celebrate the 102. Let's go, come on. And then I was like, no, I'm not hungry. I don't want to go eat. He's like, no, come on, everybody change. We're already in pajamas. He's like, let's go, come on, we gotta celebrate this. He said, but before that, I gotta deposit this check because if not, we're gonna go negative. Like, because our bills were gonna go in. So we're like, okay, let's go.
And then you had a flat tire in your car.
Oh yeah, all the red flags were there. When we got in my car, level 0 / tire. And he was like, let's go in your mom's truck. And then he's like, I know, because your mom doesn't have the car seat. Let's go in my truck. So then I was like, oh, okay, we kept on.
So when it came to,
Yeah.
you told me as far as him having to deposit money,
Mm-hmm.
you could have done something you didn't do it.
Yes, I beat myself so bad because the money that Mondo had to deposit, I had that money in my bank account. But since I was so mad that he didn't give me a gift, and I feel mad because I bought him a gift, and I feel like I'm the one who pushed him to take us out for dinner. And when he had to deposit money, I was like, no, he got here late. He didn't give me nothing, so I'm not gonna give him that money. So now it was a slap in the face that all of this happened for $20 when I had more money in my bank account and I could have saved my daughter, and it was more of a big amount. So now, not only do I regret giving my husband a gift, now I regret not depositing him, transferring him that money. But it's like, why should I feel this guilt if we did nothing wrong that night? That day, my mom was like, Arlene, stay home, let your parents go eat. She's like, no, I gotta go have my chicken wings. Oh my God, I love the wings from Spanky's. I want to get my salad.
And Spanky's was y'all's family.
It still is. I've been going to Spanky's since I was in 6th grade, and when Armando was my boyfriend, he would try to impress me with like his little his favorite restaurants. I'm like, no, I got you better, man. We gotta go to Spanky's. So when I took him for the first date, he loved it. That was our family.
That was y'all's first date place?
No. That wasn't our first.
Okay.
No, that was it. But
And
Arlene grew up there. Armando Jr. grew up there. When I was pregnant with Armando Jr., my favorite was fried mushrooms.
And so the last thing I'll ask you, we know around this time you all are building your own house.
Mm-hmm.
And Arlene got to design her own room.
Oh, yes.
And did y'all end up still completing that room? Like,
So I was sharing that me and Armando, we bought our first home when we were 21. And I was sharing that I don't know if I have a different mentality, but I was like, we were already we had around 5 years living in the house, and I had to Armando, you know what, I don't want to be slaved up in the system. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't want to be young and in debt. Like, let's sell the house, and whatever we profit, let's buy a house cash, you know? That way, if we have the rest of our debts, which is it was our vehicles at the time,
but then
we're
so
being
to
off, right?
fast forward, what you ended up doing during that time as you're living with your folks. you
So
designed
yes,
the house.
I just want to explain to them a little bit. That way they don't feel like we were living with my parents, you know? So we bought off a property, we demoed the house, and that's how we bought that house with with the amount of money that we profited from our first house. And that's whenever we included our lien and we did our design of our house because that was the plan. And we will go clean up our land and everything because that was our dream. So that's why we were staying with my parents at the time because my parents were like, why am I gonna spend more money? Y'all just stay here, whatever y'all have to continue on building the house. Instead of spending more money, y'all could just go ahead and save the money and stay with us. So that's the reason why we were staying with my parents at the time, because we were under construction.
So how was the room designed? The one for-
Arlie wanted her own shower, her own vanity. And when Arlie passed away, I didn't want to move on forward because I wanted to finish the property with her because, man, she was really good at cutting yard. She would get on the tractor and she would cut the yard. Man, she was real good at it because even I tried it myself and I'm like, man, this girl was really, well, she was really good at even cutting the yard. Like, because my husband, I know you have met him, but he always, I'm not trying to talk good about him, but he was like everything right. So when she would try to cut the yard, he would be like, you gotta go back and follow the line. So she got really good at that. So to me, I didn't want to move on forward with the house because I wanted to finish it with her. But as in honor of love to her, I told my husband, no, you know what, let's move on forward. Let's finish this house for our leave and for her brother and her sister. I mean, her brothers and her sister, like, because they deserve it. And we learned that leaving everything for tomorrow, you just never know when there's not going to be no tomorrow.
She had a big personality.
She did.
Pass witness.
We don't have any questions, Your Honor.
This was the excuse.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Next witness, please.
Stay right, Your Honor.
Did y'all want to take a break or anything, or you're good? Go. Please 5-minute break, please.
All rise for the jury.
So I'm not sure if they're about to bring out another witness. Everybody doing okay? Listening to a lot of heartfelt testimony. We definitely think it's good. Looks like they're taking a break right here. So we do have our TiVo time. So we'll kind of fast forward and see if they have any additional witnesses that they're bringing up today. Yeah, I have no clue how they got this going today. It almost feel like they playing the stream, then they cutting the stream. Oh, I'm just so confused.
want me to say something or not? I tell them in every single trial I have, if defendant takes a stand, I always have something. I'll just leave it alone, right? I'll still alone. It doesn't make a
You don't have to say
But let me,
Yeah, I mean, we'll make a request. I probably have to make a request.
okay, so let me, gentlemen, I need something on the record. Go ahead, Mr. Murphy.
Judge, we are calling Mr. Earls next. I know the court's policy is to have,
Speak up for me.
the court's policy is to have the deputy standing by the defendant. No other witnesses had a deputy standing by the defendant. That's going to be undue influence on the case. So we object to having a deputy standing by the defendant.
So, a couple of things of note. So Mr. Earls has shackles on his feet. So what the court has done is it's placed a large trash bin to block that. So Mr. Earls, when the jury comes in, do we have a stand or not stand? So he sits there. I've done this with so many trials that I can't count how many it's never been an issue. Now, my understanding is this is the sheriff's department's policy that someone stand near. Yes, to have someone standing there, make no inferences of anything whatsoever. That's never been an issue. And I don't even know how many cases I've had.
That's fine, Judge. We, I guess, first thing I'll say is we object to that for the record. We object to the deputy standing there. Secondly, we would request that instruction if my objection to it.
It's gonna be overruled because it is a security issue and I'm not gonna have them by their protocols. So let's get the jury back. You're gonna sit there.
Why don't they change? Can I ask a question? Why don't they just shackle him to the chair?
We don't do that. That's a security issue. That's the sheriff's department.
Okay, so instead,
You guys.
okay, we're gonna make a request that the sheriff's department, for security purposes, if they feel like he could possibly get up and run, then we would request that he be shackled to the chair, which I believe is permanently fixed.
It's not. It's a roller chair.
Okay. Okay, well, they could shackle him to something behind, outside the jury's view, so that it's not even a possibility as opposed to having him, having this. But the record has to clearly reflect that that Mr. Earls is on the stand about the testimony, and that he's going to have an armed sheriff's deputy standing next to him within about 3 or 4 feet. Is that, I want to be accurate. I don't want to, thank you. Okay, within
6 feet.
6 feet, 6 feet, okay, which is right in front of the jury during the entire testimony. Thank you, Judge.
No problem. And just for the record, there is nothing to shackle them to other than a movable chair. And it's I believe I was told it's their protocol to have someone standing there. And so my instruction to the jury will be the similar instruction I've given to many juries that with any single case that I tried, if the defendant takes a stand, Sheriff's Department's policy is to have a deputy in the area and to make no inference or any impressions from the deputy being there. So let's get the jury, please. I'm ready, sir.
All right, for the jury.
You all may be seated. The state of Texas having arrested and punished on what side of the fence?
We call, the defense calls Tony.
Mary directly, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you.
And before I start, just an announcement. Obviously, you see a deputy over in the corner. In any kind of felony case that we try, there's always a deputy in the corner. It's very standard. Please make no inference, assumptions, or anything of that nature. It's their policy. It's not to prejudice Mr. Earls at all, okay? You may proceed, please.
Thank you, Judge. Please introduce yourself to the jury.
My name is Tony Earls Jr.,
Mr. Earls, where are you from?
Southeast Houston, Texas.
Tell us a little bit about where you grew up.
I grew up on the southeast side for like my elementary days. And then my mom moved us to A-Leaf.
Why did she move y'all to A-Leaf?
She wanted us to have a better schooling, a better community, like away from the things that was occurring in South Houston,
What kind of things were occurring in South Houston?
like violence, like a lot of violence, like
So when you went to A-Leaf, how did that turn out?
actually it was a little bit worse than living in South Houston.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Earls in A-Leaf.
Did you graduate?
No, I didn't.
Did you tell us a little bit about, we're going to go into different categories, but just so the jury knows a little bit about you. Let's talk a little bit about your family life. Both parents in your life,
Yes,
you have a good relationship with them?
yes,
Do you have any children?
yes.
How many?
I have 6 daughters.
Can you give us their names?
It's kind of difficult for me to tell you guys my daughter's name because of the safety that I'm a protector. So for me to just give my daughter's name for them to be looked up, I really don't find it uncomfortable.
That's fair.
Thank you.
And I retract that question. I didn't get that consideration. You have 6 daughters. Can you tell us their age ranges?
From 27 to like 8, 9.
Okay.
Mr. Earls, do me a favor, scoot in some more and speak up a little louder, okay?
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Do you have any grandchildren?
Yes.
How many?
1.
How old is your grandchild?
I think she's probably like 5.
When were you arrested on this for this case? It was in May of 2023 or 2024?
Yes, I was booked in May of 24 years.
Okay. And have you been in custody since then?
Yes.
Before you were booked in May of 2024, what kind of things did you do for work to make a living?
I really considered as a building service maintenance, but due to certain circumstances, had me venture into my own business, like an independent contractor. Like I do fence work, I do landscaping, I do pressure washing.
Okay. Let's go back a little bit. I want to ask you this. Have you, before this incident, we're going to get into this incident, but before this incident, have you ever been the victim of an aggravated robbery?
Yes.
How many times?
So like several times, maybe like 3 times.
Okay. Tell the jury a little bit about some of your experiences there.
The first time that it ever happened to me, I was very afraid. I was shocked. I thought that would never ever happen to me.
What was taken from you?
I had, I was just had, my mom couldn't afford to give me some Jordans. So I had saved my money to buy my own pair of Jordans. And they got took along with my little brother's bicycle. And I had some earrings, like I got both of my ears pierced. So I had some like nugget earrings and they took it with gunpoint. So
When would this have been, like, how old would you have been roughly?
maybe like 17.
And did you have any, did you experience any robberies other than that one?
Yes.
Tell the jury about those robberies.
One robbery I can remember is I do music as well. So me and my friend was coming back from performing at a show, and he didn't get a chance to drop me off at my doorstep. He dropped me off in front of the apartments, and as I was walking through the apartments, like 5 people jumped out, and they all had guns, and I was wearing like a red shirt, and they was like, "Are you a blood? Are you a blood? Are you gonna die?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not a blood.
Are you a gang member?
No, sir.
Have you ever been a gang member?
No, sir."
All right.
And when he kept asking me, "Am I a blood?" I was confused. Like I was trying to diffuse the situation as much as possible by offering the money that I had in my pocket, my cell phone. They took it, but he was so consistent on me being in some kind of gang. And I'm like, I have on blue boxers. So, and one guy was like, "Oh, we know him." And I'm like, "Yes, like, it's my brother. Like, y'all know me." But they still robbed me anyway.
Okay, and then any other robberies that you've experienced other than the one that this whole case is about?
Yes, I had someone shooting at us from like the cars was scratching like and guns was like pow pow pow, and they didn't really rob us, but we was like hanging out. My mom in the apartment complex, she like had the corner apartment like from the sidewalk, so everybody would come and hang out like right there, and the car thought we was doing something that we
Was this like a drive-by?
something like drive by.
Okay. At some point, did you, I mean, obviously you're a gun owner. At what point did you decide to start buying guns?
I came to the conclusion like everybody is having guns, so I'm like, I need to get me a gun for protection as well.
When did you first get a gun for protection?
My first gun it wasn't a handgun. It was a shotgun.
And did you use that for home protection?
It was for home protection, and I learned that in Texas that you could be able to ride with it in the back of your vehicle. So that was like I never had to use it. I never had to pull it out. I never had, but I did have one though.
Have you, at the time of this incident back in February of 2022, what part of town were you living in?
Southeast.
Okay, and is it safe to say it's a high crime area?
Yes.
So why were you carrying guns with you around that time period?
For safety. My wife, she is a licensed gun holder as well. So, we have guns around. So
Did you ever get licensed?
I was in the process of getting them, but then the law had passed for September the 1st. Well, you didn't have to have them to be a gun owner. So it was around the same time that I was trying to get it, so I didn't never finish pursuing it.
And is that, if I'm understanding you correctly, the only reason you didn't finish that up is because there wasn't really a need for it anymore at that point?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Earls, let's go back to February of 2022, Valentine's Day. I know it's a day that you remember. Let's kind of start at the beginning. Had you been working that day?
Yes.
Had your wife been working that day?
Yes.
What time did y'all get off work each of you?
I got off. I finished my job roughly around like 5 o'clock in the evening. So I went to the store until I got a call from my wife to let me know that she was off and that she was locked up the building safely. I normally go to her job and sit and wait for her so she could be safe because she a hairstylist. She get off late at night and she has large amounts of cash on her presence.
Does that ever concern you?
Yes,
Why?
because people in the neighborhood tend to stalk and as prey, like you'll never know that they're watching you until the last minute, because it be guys sitting at where her job located. It's a bus stop right in front of it. You may think that people might be catching the bus, but they never get on the bus. They just sit at the bus stop. So,
Waiting for targets?
yes.
All right. So you're waiting for your wife. Take us from there.
So, like I said, I was at the store because that's my other little means of getting extra money.
So you talk about store. Is that the same store that we heard about earlier today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. So you were working that day.
Yes, sir.
What were you doing?
Like stocking the beer, putting ice on the cooler, like getting trash.
Just got whatever was needed?
Yes, sir.
All right, I got you. All right, so you get off. What time does your wife get off?
Probably like about 8:30, like 8:45, somewhere in there.
Did y'all have plans that night?
Not really. I had called her and I was like, because her daughter and her mother, they like strawberry, like things, like anything strawberry, they love it. So I had got some strawberry cupcakes. And I told her like, oh, I got some strawberry cupcakes. And she was like, okay, I'm on my way to come and get you. I'm like, okay. So she pulls up, she asks me, have I ate? And I'm like, no, I haven't. So she was like, you want to get something? I'm like, sure. So we stopped by a seafood place, but before we stopped by the seafood place,
Question answer, please.
Yes, Sean. All right, so y'all want to get something to eat. And Mr. Earls, let me kind of, so we can do this the way the rules work. Let me kind of ask you questions and then you answer the question, otherwise they're object to what's called narrative. So y'all wanted to get seafood, is that right?
yes.
Okay. What did you do next?
Before we went to stop to get seafood, we had stopped at CVS
Why?
to get the grandbaby some gas medicine.
Grandbaby was feeling a little ill.
Yeah,
Okay. So you got the gas medicine for the grandbaby.
yes,
Do you help watch the grandbaby?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So after that, what did you do next? What did y'all do next?
The place was closed. The seafood place that my wife wanted to eat.
Where was it y'all wanted to eat?
It was off of OST.
Do you remember what it's called?
I think it was called the Crab Seafood or some place like that. The building name always changes, so I'm not too for sure.
That's fine. So the crab place you wanted to go to was closed. All right, take us from there. What happens next?
So she suggested, like, she really wanted seafood, so she like, let's go to HEB. And I was like, that's gonna be time consuming. So I'm like, let's just get something else. What about Wingstop? She was like, yeah, that's we could do that.
Did y'all go to Wingstop?
We never made it to Wingstop
Why?
because I be trying to tell my wife not to go to the bank at nighttime
Why is that?
because it's very unsafe. So I was in the passenger seat. I normally be the driver when it's me and my wife. I normally be the one driving. So I'm ordering the food on the phone. So when I look over to ask her what it is, I realized that she was turned into Chase Bank. First
What were
thing
your thoughts at that point?
why are we putting up at Chase Bank?
What did she tell you?
She had to make a deposit.
So what happened next?
She pulled up at the ATM machine and she was, she had, I don't know exactly how much money it was, but it was a lot of money. And she had a check as well. So she put the money in the machine, but she didn't put the check in the machine. So my first response was, you know that you could have put both in at the same time. She said she didn't know that.
What happened next?
So I continued to finish ordering the food. Like it's okay. So I already know what she wanted. So I was just trying to verify that I have the correct meal.
This is while she's putting the money in the ATM?
Yes.
What happened after that?
I look over at her. She looking at me kind of in like a shocked face. So by the time I got to ask her what's wrong, a robber came out of nowhere and was like, give me the money, give me the money.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You said the robber came out of nowhere. What was the first thing you noticed about the robber?
His gun.
Where was it pointed?
At my wife.
How did that make you feel?
Like, tried to diffuse the situation as much as possible.
How so?
By giving him everything that he was asking for.
Okay. Now you had your gun with you. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you not take out the gun at that point?
I didn't have an opportunity. My wife's life was in danger as well as mine. It just wasn't like fuse the situation. Like, please just go.
What happened next?
Well, we gave him the things that he was asking for. And he kept asking for money. But my wife kept saying she put it in the ATM machine. So he was looking at the billfold that was sitting on the console on the stick shift. So I grabbed him and said, "This is what you want?" He snatched it.
What happened after that?
He asked for the keys. My wife was panicking. She was so hysterical. It was like she was like, "We don't have no keys."
What's going through your mind while that's going on?
Please just give him the keys. Stop yelling and just comply. That's what was going on. So she gave him the keys. From my seat, I couldn't really see if she gave it to him or however. Like, I watched the video over and over, and it's different, you know. But
Let me ask you about that. I mean, you've been sitting through this whole trial. You've been seeing the videos. Is what you see in video a little bit different from the way you remembered it happening?
yes,
Are you open to the fact the way you remember it happening may have been, you may be mistaken about certain details?
Yes,
So with the keys, did you have concerns when those keys were taken?
yes.
What were your concerns?
That we won't be able to drive the car if it cut off. We won't be able to cut it back on.
Did you feel like you had to get the keys?
Yes.
So what did you do?
After the robber left, I told my wife I gotta get the keys, and she was like, so I'm like, you okay? She like, yes. So I was getting the keys. I opened the door to get the keys.
So let me ask you this. This is the question everyone in here has got on their mind. When you got out of the car, Tony, what was going through your mind when you started firing that gun?
I have no idea. Like, to be totally honest, I don't even have not one clue.
Do you sitting here right now even remember running up in that grass like the video shows?
I remember running, like, this is after I shot the first couple shots. I didn't see the robber run past the car. I didn't see. All I saw was the headlights approach. The headlights like do this one, like dip in, and then and
Did you have any opinion about whether that truck was associated with the robber?
yes,
What did you think?
I thought he was running because he was running away and he was saying, "I got it." So I thought he was going to get in the black truck.
Do you remember firing at the truck when you were standing in the grass?
Yes,
What was going through your mind when you were doing that?
I was like, "Oh shit, they's gonna shoot," and me and my wife is gonna be, on his way. So I just started shooting at the truck, trying to prevent shots fired to me. But
Was it kind of a shoot first before you get shot kind of deal?
it's
After, after you're in that grassy area, we all saw in the video, you got back in the truck, got back out. Okay, we've seen that a lot. Do you have an independent memory of that?
I remember after the truck passed by, I remember looking down the street to make sure that the truck was gone.
What did you see?
The truck was speeding down the street.
Okay,
So
what did you do then?
So then I went to get back in the car to get my wife out of danger. Like, I was like, let's get out of here. So as we was exiting the parking lot,
What did you see?
she was like, "Oh, the truck is backing up." I'm like, "No." She like, "Yes." So then when I looked, I'm like, "It is." So then that's when I,
Hold on, let me ask you, what did you see? Did you see the truck stop, backing up?
backing up.
Okay, what was going through your mind when you saw that?
Oh shit, they about to kill us.
Okay,
So I shot so we could go.
all right. What did y'all do after you were leaving?
While we was leaving, while I had shot out the car, my wife had called the police. So the dispatch lady was on the radio, because we don't really listen to the radio. Like, we really like church people. So if it's not like church music or someone preaching the word, we not listening to the radio.
Okay, but you're listening sounds like what, your Bluetooth is on, so you're listening to 911.
Yeah.
Okay. We've heard the 911 call. What, at this point, do you have any idea that there was a family inside that truck?
No.
So where do y'all go?
We go to MLK, to the address that was given on the 911 tape. We went to that address first.
What was your plan when you went there?
My wife wanted to make sure that, because we felt like the truck was following us, we didn't know the truck was like at a stop.
You told me to ask the obvious. I'll ask it anyway. Were you scared?
Yes.
All right. So y'all eventually get to your location. Where was that? I don't need the address. Just like who's was it? Your house? Someone else's house?
My wife's mother's house.
Okay. And do you wait for the police there?
Yes.
What do you do with the gun?
I cleared it. I took the clip out. I took the bullet out, and I set it away from me.
Why did you do that?
For safety issues. I didn't want it to be loaded.
Were you expecting the police?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was it your idea to cooperate or not cooperate with the police?
To fully cooperate, because
And at this point, you are looking at this as though you're the victim, right?
yes,
Okay. So the police arrive. You show them where the firearm is.
yes,
Okay. And then did they want a statement from you?
yes. They secured the weapon, and then they put brown bags on both our hands, and I kept telling them that it's just my hands that need to be in brown bags because I was the one shooting. I was trying to protect my wife from going through that type of situation. So I'm like, she don't need no brown bags on. So
Okay. Did they take you downtown?
yes,
All right. Did detectives talk to you?
yes,
And did you give them a full statement?
yes,
And when they talked to you, I mean, they told you you had a right to be silent, you had a right to a lawyer and all of that, didn't they?
yes,
And you told them that's fine, I'll still talk with you, right?
yes.
At the time that you're talking to them, did you realize that there was a family in the car at the beginning of that conversation?
No, sir.
At some point, did they let you know that?
Yes.
How did that make you feel when you learned that?
Very sad.
Mr. Earls, this is another obvious question, I have to ask it. You didn't know there was a family in that car, right?
No, sir.
And if you had this to do all over again, would you have gotten out of that car and shoot?
No, no, sir.
All right, let's move forward. Today, I'm going to shift gears. We're going to go to kind of a different place. Today, the prosecutors played some videos of some incidents you had with the stepson. You saw that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's chat about that. So we need to address that. We're almost done. So, what's your stepson's name?
But they call him Knowledge.
How long have you known Knowledge?
Since he was 14.
Did he have, was his dad in his life?
No, sir.
Did you kind of fill that role?
Yes.
As, how old was he when this incident happened, give or take?
He was like 24, 25.
Did your relationship start to get a little more tense during that period?
Yes.
Did you have concerns that he may have been going down a path that wasn't the best path?
Yes.
Did that lead to tension?
Yes.
Right, so describe to the jury kind of how, let's start with that first incident, the one at night when you're sitting on the truck. Describe to the jury what happened, let them know.
Before, and I just was walking up, a guy had told me that another young guy had pulled a gun out and was threatening to shoot Knowledge.
Okay.
So when the guy told me, I didn't pay no attention because I don't like he say, she say.
Okay.
So then the store owner, not the one that was up here, not Ali, but Rashid, he was like, you don't know what happened? I was like, nah, I don't know. Then he showed me the camera on his phone. So I sat and watched the camera, and I see the young boy pull out his gun, and he cocked it.
Hold on, just so we're clear. Someone had pointed a gun at Knowledge, right?
Not pointed it at him.
Okay.
They was waiting for him to come out the store.
Okay.
So the guy that was outside the store seen him pull out the gun. So the guy outside the store pulled out his gun and
All right, hold on, because this has potential to get confusing. This is not that night. You're giving us the precursor, right?
it was earlier that day.
Earlier that day, okay. So is it fair to say you were concerned that
Objection leading.
We don't need the witness at this thing.
that's fine, I was trying to speed it up. So when you saw on a video this other person cocking a gun, tell us what else you saw.
He made him leave. The other guy that was out, he made the young guy leave. He said that he asked him who that's for, and he said it's not for you, school. It's for the dude in the store. So the guy looked back in the store and seen that it was my stepson. So he said, "Oh no, you gotta leave." So he made him leave. So when I seen it on video, my instincts was to call someone for Knowledge to be safe, because I didn't want to just not say nothing and something was to happen. I really want to sit right with me.
Okay.
So then I called his uncle first. His uncle brushed it off like it was no big deal. I tried to let it pass, but my heart still was like, that's not enough. Call his mom and tell his mom. So I called his mom and told his mom that it wasn't a he say, she say. I actually saw a video of it. So then she called him, they talked, and then that's when y'all.
So he was upset that you called his mother,
Yes,
who was your wife.
yes,
Okay. And is that kind of what led to this whole thing?
yes.
All So tell us about, we saw that video. Tell us about what happened there.
Okay. He comes first before he walked down the sidewalk. The guy that's standing in the black next to me, he said, "Hey man, here come your stepson, here come Knowledge right now." So I looked down, I said, "Okay." So now Knowledge approaches, and the first thing he say is, "Bitch ass nigga, why you call my mama?" No, he's asked me, "Did you call my mama?" So then I looked at him like, "Yeah, I did call your mom." And he was like, "I bet you're not fit to do that no more." Then he dug in his pocket. So I'm sitting there
What were you thinking when he dug in his pocket?
like, "Why are you digging in your pocket?" And then that's when my protection instincts like kicked in. And I'm like, I know he don't have a gun in his pocket. So that's what I was thinking. So then I got off the car and then I pulled out my gun from my waistband. And when I did it, he froze. He like paused. So then when he paused, I said, "Man, that's how people get killed doing stupid shit like that." I said, "Man, go put it up." And then I walked in the store to go put my gun up, put my gun away. And Rashid was like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "He come down here."
Okay, so let me ask you this. This is another question that's going to be on everyone's mind. You need an answer. Okay. This happens in 2023. You had a bad incident with you and a gun back in 2022. Why are you still carrying a gun?
For safety.
And is the area where you work and live an area where there's still a lot of crime?
Yes.
All right, so then take us to that next day. Looks like there's some kind of a tussle in the convenience store. What happens there?
Well, like Ali said, he didn't mention that I just filled up the ice cooler with the ice, but I had made some coffee. And the guy that was in like the tan hoodie, he was waiting on me so we could go outside and talk and stuff and drink the coffee. And Knowledge came in, and when he came in, he was talking like smack, like, "Man, a real nigga in here, let a real nigga get a cigar, let a real nigga get a black and mild," like, all that. So the dude in the tan shirt, he looked at me because he was outside the day before. So he looked at me and I shook my head like, "Don't pay him no mind, we just finna go." So then when I walked past him, he kept saying, "Bitch ass nigga, you a bitch ass nigga." So then when I turned around and say, "Nah, you a bitch ass nigga," that's when he hit me and he tried to pull out a gun. And
That's where the fighting started. And we saw the fight. So after all that, have you had, and don't go into details of what conversations are, but have you, since that incident, have you been able to talk to Knowledge again?
yes,
All right. Have y'all decided just to bury the hatchet?
yes.
Judge, can you give me one moment?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Mr. Earls, oh, yeah, that first video that we saw during the evening, the one where they're charging you with having the gun. Did Knowledge come in that store after you had already gone in?
Yes.
Did y'all have any other issues that evening?
No, I just kept telling him to go put that gun back up.
Okay. All right. So now, during the lunch break, you and me had a chance to talk, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you made a request, didn't you?
Yes.
What was that?
To speak to the Alvarez family.
What did you want to tell them?
After 3.5 years, I never had a chance to ask them for forgiveness. I pray and I ask God for forgiveness all the time. And I can't get past me not asking them to forgive me for my mistakes that I made that night, my decisions that I made. I just want to ask them, can they find it deep in their heart to forgive me for my actions?
Mr. Earls, how do you feel about the fact that you took the life of a 9-year-old girl?
I can't sleep at night. I beat myself up.
Pass the witness, Judge.
Are you ready, sir? Or you need a couple moments? So I have to ask you, sir, like, just a, let's talk about February 14, 2022, okay?
Yes.
Now, the first thing you said on the 911, and you've always said, is the robber was shooting at me, so I had to shoot back. That's not true, correct?
No, that is true. He did shoot, but not when I exited out the vehicle. It wasn't, he didn't shoot then, but he did shoot.
Okay, what you said is, first of all, that you had to shoot back because he shot at you first. That wasn't true, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, as soon as you got out of the car, you started shooting at his back, right?
It's on video. Yes.
Yes. And what he had taken was your wife's wallet, 20 credit cards, and $20, according to your wife. Is that true?
Yes.
So at that moment, you were going to kill somebody for a wallet, 20 credit cards, and $20. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And at that point, and it's understandable because you just seen your wife be robbed and you were robbed, you were angry. Is that accurate?
I don't want to say angry. I was more scared.
Okay. You could have stayed in that car, right?
I had to get the keys out the car.
Well, that's the thing, is you had said at the time you thought he had thrown the keys to the front of your car. So you said immediately that night. He had thrown the keys to the front of the car, right?
Yes.
And when we look at the video, you don't get out to go to the front of the car to look for the keys, right?
Yes.
In fact, you don't even try and get the keys until after your wife tries to drive off, after you've already fired all of your bullets except one, right?
Yes.
So that really wasn't accurate that you got out to get your keys. You got out because you were angry. Can you at least admit that?
It's not true.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about guns. So when did you get your first handgun?
Maybe like 2017.
Okay. And so how many handguns? So 2017, how old were you?
Like 37. I'm 45 years old.
You're 45 now.
Yes, I'm 45 right now.
And so in 2017, you got your first handgun.
Yes.
Okay. Now fast forward to 2022, how many handguns have you had?
Maybe 3.
3? Okay. Did you ever take a course? Because you had said that you were trying to get your license. Did you ever take a
Yes.
handgun course?
Yes.
And did they teach you gun safety?
Yes.
And in that course, they always say you have to respect guns, right?
Yes.
And in fact, you should never pull the trigger unless you're ready to kill somebody, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, they taught you how to hold a gun, right?
Yes.
They taught you to hold it with 2 hands, right?
Yes.
So that it doesn't go all over the place, right?
Correct.
Because actually, if you fire a gun with 1 hand, it's pretty reckless, right?
I wouldn't just say that when I feel like bullets is flying at you, you can't really go through protocol like what they.
That's why my question is, it's more dangerous to fire a weapon with 1 hand than 2, correct?
Correct.
Because I'll come back to it in a second, but in that video with your stepson, you have the gun in 1 hand, right?
Yes.
You put it in his face with 1 hand, right?
I didn't point it in his face,
His chest.
not his chest.
All right, we'll go back to that in a moment. So you've been carrying a gun with you for 5 years before this incident, right?
Yes.
And you would carry it on your person, right?
Yes.
And you carried it on your person without a CHL before the law passed, right? Meaning you said you were going to get a license, but in September of 2021, the law changed, right?
Right.
But you had already been carrying a gun on your person without a license, right?
I wasn't carrying it on me. It was like in my house, like
Okay.
in a vehicle.
Fair enough.
I never had it.
So once you had the carrying, then you started just carrying in your waistband, right?
Yes, I had a holster.
Now I'm going to come back to the scene, but I have to ask, we saw on that video that you shot your weapon 10 times, right?
Yes.
And you'll acknowledge that, right?
Yes.
All right. So when the police came and got your gun and the magazine, you had 7 bullets in the magazine, right?
Yes.
And it had a capacity of 12. So that's only 5. So did you give them a different magazine? How do you account for that?
I don't know. I just know that I don't own no second magazine. I don't own nothing extravagant in the pictures that you have, that they have.
Mhm.
You could zoom in and see that there's no alterations to my handgun, nothing.
So I'm asking, because obviously there should have been less bullets in the magazine. So it's not that big a deal, but I just wanted to ask you why you understand. Did you put more bullets in the magazine so it didn't look like you had fired the gun 10 times?
No, sir.
Did you switch out the magazine?
No, sir.
So can you tell us why you had so many bullets in your magazine when you actually fired it 10 times?
I have no idea.
So going back to the scene, so after you shot at the robber's back, you then went into the grassy area, right?
Correct.
You did not see him get into a vehicle, the robber, correct?
All I saw was the headlights. The headlights.
The question is, you never saw the robber get inside a vehicle.
I never saw the robber.
No, and we wouldn't expect you to because we've seen it. You can't see that area. So the next thing you saw was headlights coming, right?
Incorrect.
So you just said, you saw headlights.
No, when I was trying to explain, you interrupt me from explaining
Okay.
what I saw.
Okay,
I said I saw the headlights of the vehicle, and I see the assailant running towards the headlights. So the truck do like one of these, so I assume that he
Okay.
was.
That's the problem, though, sir, is that from your vantage point, you would not have been able to see that dip from the car because the chase sign was blocking you. You've just been watching these videos from across the street saying he changed. You can't see that. Do you understand that?
No, not really.
All right. So what you end up doing is you could have gotten back in the car after you shot at the robber, correct?
It was, I was hearing gunshots. So that would make me.
Sir, we could, do you need me to play 108 for the jury again? The only gunshots in this neighborhood was yours.
Okay.
So if you're going to be sorry and you're going to come forward, can we at least have you tell the truth?
Objection to the argumentative.
Do you understand by saying you're sorry to a family but not willing to accept responsibility and tell us the truth, how it's hollow? Do you understand that?
What is the question that you asked me?
My question is you're claiming you heard gunshots. You've seen the videos. You've seen the technology. The only person in the chase area who was shooting a gun was you. Correct?
I still don't understand the question that you're asking me.
All right. You shoot at the robber 3 times, right?
Correct?
And my previous question was, you go into the grassy area towards the headlights, right?
Correct?
I asked you why, correct?
Correct?
And you said because you heard gunshots.
Correct?
There were no other gunshots out there after you shot 3 times.
Right.
You're looking at the lawyer. You need to be looking at the jury. There were no other gunshots out there. So you started shooting at the truck, correct?
Because I thought the robber got into the black truck.
I know that's what you're saying, and maybe even you believe that, or maybe you've convinced yourself of that. But you started shooting at that truck, correct?
Correct?
And did you see that Armando doesn't start going fast? The wheels don't start skidding and going fast until you have already shot at the truck 2 times.
I don't recall.
Having seen the videos in court numerous times, you'll agree with me. You shoot at the robber 3 times, and then you turn the gun on the truck, and you shoot the 4th and 5th, and that's when he takes off, correct?
I'm not too for sure.
Did you happen to see Armando and his wife in the front seat?
Windows was tinted.
Right. And I'm asking from the windshield, did you see Armando or Wendy?
The windows was tinted. I couldn't
So
see.
that would be a no, correct?
Correct?
Okay. So as the car is coming, you realized actually the car had tinted windows, right?
The question you asked is what?
Question is, you saw that the truck had tinted windows, correct?
Correct?
So you couldn't see in, correct?
Correct?
So you then start shooting into the truck, right?
Correct?
And you didn't have to. You could have run back to the car, right?
I could have.
Correct?
I could have.
You could have. Okay. So you shot multiple rounds into the truck where you could not even see anybody in it. Correct?
Correct?
And you say it's because you thought the robber had gotten in the truck, right?
Correct?
So you were willing to kill everybody associated with the robber and whoever was in that truck, correct?
Correct?
You do realize that was pretty reckless, don't you?
Objection calls for legal conclusion.
I'm not asking about the law, I'm asking him,
His
do
opinion?
you feel like that was a reckless act?
Give me a second.
Objection, that calls for a legal conclusion. If he wants to use another word, he can, but reckless has a specific legal definition.
I mean, it's also a common
I
word.
just say his opinion.
All right,
Opinion.
in your opinion,
Not legal, his opinion.
okay, in your opinion, was that reckless?
I'm sorry, Judge. Just for the record, I have to.
Okay, I understand, sir, and that's overruled, sir.
In your opinion, was that reckless?
Mm. I really can't answer that question right now. Like,
Well, in front of the world, you said you're very sorry to an Alvarez family.
and I am.
So what I want to ask you is, will you admit that that was in your opinion, a reckless act?
Objection, Your Honor, because of the word reckless, I have to do the objection. It's legal conclusion.
And it's his opinion, so I'm not overruled, but you may answer if you know.
I can't answer
Are
that.
you refusing to answer that, sir?
I cannot answer that because it's dealing with a assumption. Like, I assume that the robber was inside of the vehicle.
But you weren't even willing to just kill the robber. You're willing to kill everybody the robber was in the car with, right?
I was fending for my life and my safety of me and my wife.
Oh, no, that had just happened. That had happened when you were in the car. You're now, after shooting at a person in the back, you don't get to say you were fearful for your life in an open space as a truck is driving by. You realize that at least now, don't you?
Nowadays, they have weapons with extra things on the back of them. They make them shoot like 30 seconds and like a bunch of times and real quick. So that's playing in my head. I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
if you got out in the community and you got robbed again, and the same thing happened, the next time you see somebody with a tin of windows, you're gonna shoot in the truck because you never know. With these
Why
things
would
you're talking about,
why would I shoot in the truck when I don't see them going towards the truck?
but that's the point. Is you didn't see him go to his truck.
I did.
You saw him disappear in the night.
I did see.
Speak over each other.
I did see him run towards the truck.
Sir, multiple people, including the defense witness, has been out there, and they say, well, from your standpoint, you would not have been able to see him run to the truck.
I was the one that was out there. I was the one that this event.
Oh, we're well aware that you're the one that was out there.
Objection, Your Honor, that's argumentative and sidebar.
That's a statement. Next question.
You pulled the trigger 7 times. You pulled the trigger 7 times
I'm sorry.
at the Alvarez's truck, correct?
I don't recall how many shots it was.
When did you figure out that the person driving the truck was a Hispanic male?
I did not know that it was an Hispanic male.
No.
I never knew it was an Hispanic male.
Well, in the 911 tape, you heard your wife say,
My wife was referring to the person that was standing outside of the truck. It does not have anything to do with the Alvarez family or the black truck. It has something to do with the people that was on the sidewalk that we saw when we drove up. That's what she was explaining to the police on the 911 tape. It was so much.
sir, let me ask you this. When they asked who's the person driving the truck, she said it was an Hispanic male.
That was a chaotic moment.
Okay.
So she was already giving them details when they was asking the same question. If you listen to the 911 tape, you could hear that she was explaining that why he was asking was the person driving the truck.
Well, let me ask you this. On this chase video, we see after you do the shooting that you then go towards the sidewalk and you look down the street, right? That's correct, right? You saw
Yes.
that.
Yes,
Okay. Did you see at that point, Armando, because you've heard him testify, he parked the vehicle and
That's-
got out to check on Arlene.
that's
Did you
not
see
true.
him then?
that's not true.
Was not true.
That he got out the vehicle, that's not true. To my knowledge,
You heard from the expert.
to my knowledge, that's not true. What I saw was the truck. When I looked down the street, I see the truck tail lights going down the streets as far as it's leaving. I get back in my vehicle
Okay.
to exit out, and guess what I see? Reverse lights. I never, not one time, me nor my wife, never saw him outside of the vehicle. Never.
You heard the expert on the video say that the car, the truck, had its brake lights on at the time you shot, right?
Reverse lights was on at the time I shot.
You didn't see him reverse
Oh,
and come
yes,
at you, correct?
yes, I saw him reverse.
You realize that happened after you drove off, right?
No,
And when you shot that 10th shot, it was towards the truck as Armando's getting back in the truck to come back.
it's not true. I never saw the driver of the vehicle outside of the truck that night. All I saw
Will you
was
agree with me,
the
sir, that,
reverse
okay,
lights.
will you agree with me, just past that truck is a very busy intersection?
The intersection is maybe like 100 feet away from where I was standing.
Do you know how far a bullet can travel?
Not really. You could tell me.
Didn't you in June of 2025, you had a conversation with your dad on telephone, right?
I have, yeah. I mean, I don't know what specific day that you talked to, but I talked to my dad a bunch of times.
Do you remember blaming the way Armando was driving as a reason why you shot
Because,
into the truck?
because of the tires scratching. Make me assume that he picked up the robber
Okay.
and they,
You do realize that was after you shot at the truck already twice?
no, I do not realize.
Isn't it true you told your dad, nobody's talking about the way Armando was driving? That's why I shot at him. If he wasn't driving so badly, I wouldn't have shot at the truck. Nobody's talking about that, and they're saying it's all me.
I
Didn't you
don't
say that?
recall.
Does that sound like something you may have said?
I do not recall.
Would it help if we played that portion of the call to refresh your memory?
Just refresh.
Sidebar. I don't even think we got no TiVo time. No, we right up in there. Look, but they must be about to send the jury out. Yep.
Who's in the white over here?
Stepson, knowledge,
Who is in the red over here?
Mr. Tony.
What do we see in his hand right here on the left?
A gun.
On any given regular night, is that about how many people would be outside hanging out?
Yes, I mean, like, sometimes, like, some guys that be hanging out.
I'm showing you State's Exhibit number 184. We see signs here. Do you see those signs?
Yes,
Are those signs you guys put up?
correct.
Why?
That TABC required that,
And it says no firearms on the premises.
correct.
What do you sell that makes TABC put that sign up?
Alcohol,
State's Exhibit number 185. In the very top here, is that the camera angle we just watched?
correct.
And this is all what we watched in that video happening right outside your store.
Yes,
Now, I want to show you the video from the day that you were there, the very next day, March 29th.
yes.
Who do we see here wearing red?
Knowledge, stepson,
You earlier told us when he walks in the store, what does he do?
he just like wanna purchase something.
Who do we see here in the yellow and the blue?
Mr. Tony,
And this is the day after he's outside with the gun.
correct,
You are actually behind the glass right now.
correct.
In the bottom left here, who do we see wearing a red hat?
Knowledge,
No, I'm
oh,
sorry,
I'm sorry.
the red hat.
Yes. The red hat,
Yeah,
me,
behind the counter.
correct.
Who do we see wearing the red hat and gray right there?
Me,
What are you doing?
try to break in,
To break it up?
correct.
I know I'm up here fighting the air because he was putting belt to ass. He said, "What you say? Boo, 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 boo." Like, who does that in the store? Like, you can't even wait till you get outside the store. Like, who does that? Yeah, they're gonna stay in the store and everything, Pretty Brown. Like, I don't know what they doing down there in Houston, Texas. Hey, Vanessa. Girl, this is Tony fighting the stepson. I don't know if you was here when we read the complaint where after this incident that happened with the little girl, Arlene, he attacked his stepson in the store. And so now in his sentencing, they actually are presenting this information. I think it's supposed to prove that he's violent and that he be taking that weapon everywhere, even when it's not supposed to go into the store, because they showed that he brought it into the store. Good morning, Drunky. Thank you. Thank you so much. Drunky says, good morning, everyone. Good to see Sweet Pea and all. That's going to the cheer fund. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, as the okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish playing. Just stay in the store. They ain't messed up nothing in the store, don't look like. He got his merch.
Who do we see that's sitting over here on the ice just now?
Mr. Tony,
I'm gonna publish it one more time. This happens pretty quick.
Oh, he just caught him first. Boo, boo. Ooh, wait a minute. So wait a minute. In all fairness, it looked like the son was about to punch him first, and he just got his lick off first. Unless I'm missing that. Y'all tell me. Junkie said, "Who? Wait, what? When? Where? Why? What is going on?" So, Drunky, the person that we looking at in the yellow, this is going to be Tony. The guy that's in the red, let me go back a little bit. I don't know if they're gonna show it again, but I want to make sure she see it. Okay, so right here in the red, Drunky, and everybody, well, for all of us, right? This is the son. This is Tony. This is the store guy behind the thing that's gonna come from behind the counter and try to break it up. But when Tony comes this way, you know, they saying some stuff to each other, right? Tony goes back and he walks this way, And the stepson, you know, he must have said something which caused him to come back this way. And it looks like at the confrontation, it looked like the son was trying to get the first lick, but he didn't. It looked like, you know, Tony was a little quicker on his toes. You know, the son needed to bob and weave, and he didn't bob and weave and got caught. But I'll play it and we can watch it. But that just gives y'all kind of an idea. I don't know how old the stepson is. I'm assuming that he is an adult because they did put his name in the complaint that we read the other day.
This is the day after he's outside with the gun.
Correct.
You are actually behind the glass right now.
Correct.
In the bottom left here, who do we see wearing a red hat?
Knowledge.
Stepson.
No, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's the red hat.
Yes. The red head.
Yeah.
Me.
Behind the counter.
Oh,
Correct.
for. Just tell me what you want it for. See? Mhm.
Who do we see wearing the red hat and gray right there?
Me.
What are you doing?
Try to break in.
To break it up?
Correct.
Who do we see that's sitting over here on the ice chest now?
Mr. Tony.
I'm gonna publish it one more time. This happens pretty quick. So, Mr. Durali, let me ask you this. When a fight like this happens at the store, how come you don't just kick people out?
I tried.
Describe to us when you're interacting with
Now, again, the Trump administration is
Okay, so they are live back in the courtroom. I'm taking us back in for the rest of the testimony. I'm assuming that he is still on the stand. Rather for the jury here. He must be still on the stand because I don't see him over there. It look like he may have some family members here. That look like that might be the wife. Let her know I messaged her and I need her to message me back. I don't know why they don't want us no sound. Let me try to stage. I don't know why there's no sound. Okay, wait a minute. Can y'all hear now? Can y'all hear? I can hear it. Let me see. It's not. I'm muted here. Okay. Let me try to do it again. And see if I can get it to. Mhm.
Now what I want to do is talk to you about was all. So you agree with me that you said that nobody's justifying how the black truck is moving. Nobody's saying.
Y'all can hear now? Okay, I had
He
to.
is moving. They try to make it.
Oh,
seem
okay,
like
okay.
it's
I
all me.
guess me taking it off.
You said that, didn't you?
I have no clue why I was.
And so I'm going to give you an opportunity here to acknowledge that Armando had nothing to do with this. This was all your reaction to the robbery and all of you.
I was referring to when the truck sped off and hit the curb and all the contents out the back of
You will agree with me, he didn't start to speed off until you fired at his vehicle 2 times.
at the moment, I don't recall. But
Okay, we'll go
Speak up
back.
for me, sir. Speak up for me. I apologize, Mr. Earls.
yes, sir.
We'll get back to it in a second. Now what I want to do is talk to you about the aggravated assault that happened. Now, this was March of 2023, right?
Yes,
This was a year and a month after you killed Arlene Alvarez, right?
yes,
All right. Now, I believe you just testified in front of this jury that you did not put the gun and point it at your stepson. Is that what you said?
I said I pointed it and told him to go back to where he came from,
You admit that you pointed the gun at him.
in the direction of where he came from.
And you also said that you didn't do it until you saw a gun? Did you see a gun?
He was digging in his pants,
Did he have a gun?
and I saw the end of it in his back pocket, along with some more things
Okay.
that was in his
Why
pocket.
don't we watch the video, okay? Go ahead and watch it. And he's standing by the door, right?
You saw him dig in his pocket before I came over towards him?
You right now, let's pause it, have the gun out in your left hand, is that right?
Correct.
And whether his hand is in his pocket, you do not see a handgun, do you?
Yes,
Correct?
at the moment, I thought I saw it.
And you were wrong, right?
I don't know.
In fact, when we heard your statement to the officer that was being recorded, you first said, I saw a handgun, so I had to pull it out to defend myself. You said that, right?
Correct.
But then, after she said, I'm looking at the video, I'm not seeing anything. He goes, oh, well, you said his hand was in his pocket. Right?
His hands were in his pocket.
And we will now at least agree that you did not see a gun handle that day, correct?
It's not correct.
And so you approach him in a public place with the gun out in your left hand, right?
Correct.
In fact, you get up off of that car you were sitting on and you already have the gun at your side.
Incorrect.
Okay, why don't we backtrack and we'll see.
Right there is when I pulled it out.
And he is not pulling anything out of his pocket, sir. Do you realize no one in this courtroom has ever been in a public place with a gun out outside a convenience store? And that's you? With your gun out?
In the neighborhood that I'm from,
And that's your stepson. And what you told this jury is you're trying to correct his behavior. You're trying to tell him, oh, you can't be involved with these other people who are pulling guns. And what you're doing is you're pulling a gun on him.
I never said that.
And you kind of lunged at him with that gun at your side. And at that point, he doesn't pull anything out of his pocket, right?
Correct.
Right? You want to see it again? All right. See? Now you point the gun at him.
'Cause I didn't point at him.
Well,
I
sir, you
pointed
see,
in the location of where the end of the driveway, the end of the sidewalk is where the barber shop is.
just like you're
I
pointing.
told him to
Sir,
go and
Sir, let
put,
me ask you this. Are you telling this jury that you did not point that gun at him?
no, I did not.
They can see with their own eyes, sir, you lunge and then you point it like this. Are you saying you weren't pointing at him?
I did not point it at him. I pointed in the direction of the barber shop and told him to go and put it back up.
You understand your explanations are sounding a whole lot like the way you talk about what happened at the Chase Bank?
No, I do not
Judge,
know.
you mischaracterizes prior testimony.
The jury heard the evidence in this case, they're gonna be able to deduce from the evidence that they heard what both counsels say it's not evidence, it comes from the witnesses and the exhibits that you guys get to be the determination of facts with respect to those. You may continue.
This jury is actually seeing your crime in front of them and you're still denying it.
If I pointed the gun at him and he followed me in the store, that mean I didn't. He didn't feel threatened. I did not threaten him. I
So
did
now
not.
you're acknowledging pointing the gun at him.
No, you acknowledging that. I said I pointed it in the direction of him going back to the barber shop.
And what you were telling that officer also sounds very familiar, saying, I saw the handle of his gun, so I pulled out to defend myself. And then you changed it to, he was digging in his pocket, so I had to defend my life. So you changed it from seeing the handle of the gun to digging in his
Objection, attorney
pocket.
testifying, there's no question.
Is that right? Those are two different things, correct?
I don't understand the question.
It's hard to understand. At first, you say to that detective, I had to pull my gun out because I saw the handle of the gun. We can see you walking up with the gun in your hand.
That's incorrect.
But then you changed it to the detective when she says, I'm not seeing a gun. And you said, well, his hand in his pocket, I was defending my life.
Okay. Back what I see and what the video see is not going to register with what you talking about.
You see how that sounds like?
No,
I had
because
to shoot at the truck because the guy had gotten in the trunk. Do you see how that's?
I said assume he
Objection,
got in
argument.
trouble.
And just like you assumed.
He had an objection, it's gonna be overruled.
Just like you assumed when he was in the pocket, he's got a gun.
Well, the next day, the same gun he had in his
We're
pocket.
talking about the next day. I'm asking, sir, at this point, you had already killed a 9-year-old child. And you're claiming to this jury that you are very sorry for that. I'm sure you are, but your behavior hasn't changed. Would you agree with that?
Incorrect.
Let's go to the next thing. Okay, so that's your stepson, right?
Correct.
Now that's you, right?
Correct.
All right, so, and you heard the detective say that your stepson said that first night he did not have a gun. He did acknowledge having a gun on him this day. You heard that, right?
That's not correct, but yeah, I heard that.
Well, he acknowledged, and he said, I had a gun on me in this incident, right? But he doesn't take the gun out. The gun falls out when y'all are tussling, right?
You reached for it.
And I'll give you that this appeared to be mutual, meaning there was an argument and y'all are both hitting each other, right? We can see that on video. I'll give you that. But what you told the detective, the reason why you had to punch him is because he was taking the gun out. That's not true, correct?
He punched me.
Right, and that's why you punched him back. It's not because he was taking a gun out, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So if you said that, that's not true. You just punched him back because he punched you.
Correct.
Okay.
And he was reaching for his gun.
When was he reaching for the gun? We just saw it. All right, let's replay it and you show me when he's reaching for the gun. I just think it looks like y'all are both fighting each other. And by the way, what are you doing there? Why are you walking by him and then walking back?
Throwing something in the trash. I was at the place of business. I was doing what I was doing.
Okay.
That was good.
All right, so pause it there. So you see where we're not seeing him pulling out a gun or anything?
Well, I assumed that he was reaching for his gun. I didn't have my gun. I didn't have no gun. It's no gun being present in it.
This is the point though, sir. You always are claiming people have guns and that's why you have to do things.
Yeah, the lifestyle that I live in, the neighborhood that I live in, you see these type of events happen all the time.
Okay, but in here it's not happening. And you're claiming it's happening and justifying your behavior by saying it's happening. And the first one you say, I saw it, the handle of the gun when you didn't. This one you're saying he took out a gun, so I had to keep fighting him. At some point, you have him on the ground. And then you pull him off and you'll agree with me, you sucker punch him. Do you have an anger problem?
No, sir.
Do you get angry?
No, sir. I'm 45 years old.
So,
If I was the character that you portraying, I would have a criminal history.
okay, so now seeing this, I want to briefly go back to the night you killed our wolf. Okay? Remember how your psychologist that took the stand said people react differently, and someone who's prone to violence may act differently than someone who's not. So we're going to play one more time, States 108. And I want you to closely listen that the squeaking of the tires and Armando speeding off is after you start shooting at the truck. Okay?
Objection, Your Honor. There's no question here. The attorney is testifying and basically making an argument through the witness.
I'm sure a question is coming.
Yeah,
There's a
so
question.
since you said you started shooting because of the way he's driving, I'm going to go ahead and play this in so you can look at it, okay?
At the moment, I assumed that the way he was driving made me shoot the way that I shot.
And yes, and
At the
question
moment, I
was,
thought that was,
after you watch this, will you acknowledge that you started driving that way because you started shooting at this vehicle? Okay, so let's watch it, okay?
I never denied shooting in the truck.
So you'll agree with me that that shows that the only person shooting a weapon out there was you? Correct.
I'm not too for sure.
And you can see there that you started shooting at the Alvarez vehicle, then he started speeding off. And then you continue to shoot into the vehicle, right?
I never denied not shooting in the vehicle.
But then, just 13 months after knowing you killed a 9-year-old on this night, you still chose to carry a weapon, be in a public place, and using it the way you did. That didn't change your behavior this night, correct?
I don't understand the question that you asked.
This night, nobody's ever said you intended to kill Arlene. But this night, you caused her death, right?
Correct.
And that didn't stop you from continuing to carry a firearm and acting recklessly with it, just like we saw on that convenience store video, correct?
Okay,
Hold on, there's an objection, please.
I have to object because of the choice of words of reckless. After all, that's for legal conclusion.
And you're using it as an opinion, is that correct?
Using it as an opinion,
His opinion.
carrying it at your side in a public place, pointing it in the direction of your stepson after knowing you with a firearm is dangerous.
It's gonna be overruled, sir, but you can answer the question if you can.
I didn't understand the question that you asked because you asked so many questions and you don't never give me a chance to answer the questions.
I'll break it down.
So I don't understand the question.
Arlene Alvarez is dead because of what you did with a firearm, correct?
Yes.
And I can't imagine there being anything more serious, sir, than killing a 9-year-old child. Will you agree with me on that?
What is the question that you asked?
Would you agree with me? There's probably not much worse than killing a 9-year-old child. Will you agree with that?
It's tragic.
It's a crime. And that incident did not change your behavior. You were still carrying a firearm on your waist and carrying it open in a public place, correct?
This happened in 2020, right?
2022.
The Arlene, the Alvarez, God forgive me, that happened in 22.
It's 13 months later.
Okay. I got no bill for that. So therefore, they told me that I could be able to carry
You feel
gun.
like you can carry a gun, and you will agree with me. The way you handled a firearm killed a child, and your behavior did not change. Will you agree with me on that?
My behavior doesn't have nothing to do with the reason why I carry a firearm.
It's not that you carry, it's how you carry it is the problem. Do you understand that? And how you use it. You draw the question, pass away.
No further questions.
That's what it takes.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes? Yeah, I understand. I do have to take care of one piece of court business and we'll start like 2 minutes.
All rise for the jury.
This witness has been this morning.
Can I join you? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you? Thank you.
Please step up there, sir. Just the mic to meet you.
Good afternoon, sir. If you can do me a favor and speak loud and slow, you can roll into that chair and see the microphone is going to be louder. I'll give you some water if you need any, and you may proceed to defense.
Thank you. Sir, would you, Tony, introduce yourself to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes, I'm Tony Earls Senior.
Okay. And what's your relationship to, I take it to his dad?
I'm his dad.
Okay. And before I get into a little bit about Junior as a, what he's like as a person growing up and everything, I want to know a little bit about you and the family dynamic. How many, I'm sorry, how many kids do you have?
I have 5.
Okay, and where does Tony fit in?
He's my oldest,
Okay, so he was your first child?
first child.
Okay, tell me a little about yourself. You, did you grow up in Houston?
I grew up in Houston. I grew up on the southeast side too.
Okay, same side that you've heard a little bit of testimony about when you were sitting here.
Yeah, same side that's supposedly dangerous side. It's not dangerous.
Excuse me?
The side that's supposed to be so dangerous, but it's not dangerous. Anywhere you go, it's dangerous.
All right. And are you employed, sir?
Yes, I am.
And what do you do?
This is my 3rd quarter. I retired from the post office for 28 years. I also served in the Marines. I'm a disabled veteran as I speak right now, and I work for the VA.
You need to relax and just kind of talk slow so I can even
I
understand.
work for the VA right now at the present time. I'm a disabled veteran, and I also retired from the post office for 28 years.
If you could stay back off the mic a little bit, because from where I'm
Okay.
sitting, it's a little bit, I
Little
know you
more?
speak loud. It's hard for me to hear because of echoes. Thanks. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 65.
And when, how old were you when you had Tony?
I was 19.
And you said he's your oldest, and I guess you were married at the time to his mom, or were you married?
Yes, I was.
Okay, fair enough. And are you still together to this day?
No, we're not together, but she's my best friend.
So you guys stay in touch?
Yes, we do.
I want to move forward so we can move along. It is getting a little bit late. What part did you play in raising Tony?
I played the major part because I didn't have a dad to raise me, so I promised my mom that I was going to raise my kids properly, with dignity and respect. I have no other way but raising like that because that's the way she raised me.
Okay,
So
fair
all this I'm sorry to be so emotional, but all this monster they created my son, he's not a monster.
Well, we'll talk about that, okay? This is, you're familiar with what's been going on, and you would agree that this is a tragedy, it's a traumatic experience for both families.
Yes, indeed. And at this time, I would like to take the opportunity also.
Question answered, please.
Yes, I do.
What were you about to say?
I just want to say I want to hold my condolences to the
Objection to one question there.
It's not a unit like you, sir. It's just a certain way. Mr. Also, please do question and answer for the court. It's going to cause a narrative, which it did.
I'm sorry.
Ask a question.
Knowing everything about the case, was there something you wanted to tell the family of the, Pauline?
Objection relevant to this witness, Judge.
You know, at this time, Mr. Commissioner, go ahead.
You can answer.
Say it again.
I had asked you if there was anything you personally wanted to say to Pauline's family.
Yes, indeed. I want to say that I have tremendous remorse, and I have asked for the condolence. I mean, I want to say deeply, I have a deep condolence for the Earls family
You
too.
understand the tragedy they've been through.
Very much.
Talk to me real quick about Tony as a child. What was he like as a child growing up?
He was a very joyful child. He smiled all the time. Very playful. He didn't have anyone to play with at the time because he was the oldest grandkid of my mom's, oldest child of mine. So he was very playful.
As he grew up and he obviously became older, did you two still continue to stay in touch and be a part of one another's life?
Yes, sir. I kept Tony till he was 18.
And you heard earlier he's 45 now,
Yes, sir.
right?
Okay. Prior to him being incarcerated, okay, arrested and incarcerated, how often would you come into contact with Tony?
Well, me and Tony had a daily contact every day. Tony would call me every day. We'll speak about an hour or two.
Okay, so you basically, you knew him as a man, not just as a child, like, you know, let me strike that, you know how some parents and kids drift off, did that happen between you and Tony, or did you?
No, sir. Tony's a very caring son. I'm disabled and he calls me every day to check on me, you know. Even while he's been incarcerated, he calls to check on me, and I should be more concerned about him, you know. So my son is not a monster. He's a very little child.
Okay, but I have to ask the question, okay? I know you want to be heard, right? You wanted to testify to it, right?
Yes, sir.
And why did you want to testify?
Because I just don't want to portray my son as a monster, because he's not. I know him for 45 years. Now, this last conduct that he's been doing, it's uncalled for. I think so too. But, you know, we all as elders, we don't know how to react to any situation. So, you know, I don't want to go any further because I'm not on trial, but I'm just saying. You know,
Listen to me for a second. I understand you have a lot you want to say.
I do.
He's got a job to do, so if I just let you talk, he's
Okay.
gonna object, okay? It's nothing against him, he's doing his job. I'm gonna ask you questions, okay? So, you said that he would check on you day to day because you said you're a disabled veteran, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How does he, and this is prior to being incarcerated, would he offer assistance to you in the way of doing things, checking on you?
He would make sure I have my doctor's appointment. I mean, he would take me even if he had to use my car. He would make sure that I go to the doctor, make sure that I have my medicine. Like I said, my son is a very caring son.
Okay. How about, were there other older people in the community that you were friends with did he ever offer assistance or check on anybody else?
Yes, indeed. He has neighbors down the street that he would go cut their grass for free, or he moved the trees out the back if they fell on the yard. He moved to the front. You know, everybody in the community, they have no problem with him.
Okay. You said that even when he's incarcerated, he'd call and you guys would talk, right?
Yes, sir.
So has he been incarcerated? Has he been in jail since he was arrested in this case?
Is he in jail?
Yeah, the Harris County Jail, like waiting for his trial.
Yes. Mhm. It hurts me a lot.
Okay. Do you, what if any, did it in any way create a hardship for you?
Like I say, man, I miss my son. And I can imagine how the average family feels.
Okay.
It's hard, man.
All right. I just want to clear something up because I don't think Ed asked Tony about it. You know that the night that the shooting occurred at the Chase Bank, he was in the car with his wife, right?
Yes.
Okay. She goes by Dee.
Yes.
She's in the courtroom, right, sitting here?
Yes, she is.
Okay. You get along with Dee, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And I don't want to go into too much detail, but is it safe to say that she is also here in support of, just to show some support for Tony?
Yes, sir.
I want to make sure they're not like on these real bad terms or anything like that, all right?
No.
But they're not together, right?
No, they're not together.
Because he's in the Harris County Jail, right?
That's correct.
Okay. When we were talking earlier today, you started to talk to me, besides the different things he did for some of the neighbors and for you, you had mentioned some community kind of activities that Tony would get involved in. Could you tell me, or tell the jury what you were telling me about earlier today?
Yes, Tony and his cousin, every year, they throw a toy drive for the kids in the neighborhood.
For the kids in the neighborhood where they live.
Yes, sir. And he would always, the ones that didn't have fishing rods, or take the little ones fishing with us and stuff, so he was involved in the community. And that's probably the reason why, I'm not giving him no excuse, but that's probably the reason why, he's at the store all the time. But he's going around now. So I'm just
Are you
going.
familiar with the store?
Yes, I am.
You were familiar that he stocks stuff there and picks up garbage. He's kind of a guy who does odd jobs all around, right?
Yes.
We had talked a little bit about the incident with his steps. Do you know his stepson?
I know it.
I'm not gonna go into too much detail with you, but just so the jury knows, that's because you don't really know what the dynamic between them, those 2 days were, like what they were arguing about or what was going on.
No, it's really, that video was a surprise to me because I didn't even think they had that kind of relationship where it got that bad. Never saw it, so this is the first time me seeing that video of him and knowledge. So I really don't have any revelation of how deep it was.
How would you describe, based on your observations, how would you describe how they typically would get along?
It would get a little fun. I mean, during the present time that I see them, they get along very good.
Okay, and then following the incident at the store and even the fight they had in the store, between that period of time and the time that Tony was actually arrested, did you ever have occasion to observe them together?
No, it was very surprising right there.
I'm sorry?
No, but it was very surprising.
No, I don't know if you understood my question. I'm trying to explain or let the jury see what their relationship was like after this incident. Like, did they for lack of any better term, did they kind of let this just be bygones and pass?
Yes, sir.
Was there continued hostility?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
They bypassed, and I see them together now.
I guess I just have one more question. The toy drive you were telling me all about, you were pretty proud of that, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because they was doing it out their own pocket.
Was that, is that like a Christmas toy?
Yeah,
drive?
Christmas toy
I just
drive.
wanted to put it in reference. Okay. I'll pass the witness.
No questions, Judge. Next witness be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you can be excused. Next witness.
At this time, the defense calls Coretta Brown.
This witness has not been sworn in.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can you do me a favor and roll up a little bit on that chair, speaking to the mic? Ms. Wiltshire, is that looking at you? That means you're speaking too fast. Okay. And the touch whenever you're ready. Who's that? Yes, who is?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Hi, Coretta, can you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
My name is Coretta Brown. I'm the executive director of a nonprofit organization called Grievous on Empowerment. We are a social justice and community-centered organization that work with youth in education around anti-bullying. We also work with seasoned saints in churches, and then we also.
You're fine, ma'am. I know you're nervous. They're gonna ask you questions.
Sorry.
Questions and answer. Okay, just take your time.
Okay.
Please.
So you were talking about the organization you work for. Say the name again.
It's called Bridges to Empowerment.
And what does the organization do?
So we are a community-driven organization. We do education work with the kids. We teach them how to be advocates. Right now, we're focusing on teaching them anti-bullying and how to advocate for anti-bullying in their schools. And then we're also working on coming up with policies that we can give to some of the state reps for mental health counselors in all of the high schools. And then we also do, we have what's called participatory defense.
Okay. And tell me about the participatory defense.
So that's an organization that was started some time ago. It's affiliated with the Public Defender's Office. And basically, we work with family members and we work with the defendants to help guide them through the pretrial process.
And you know Mr. Tony Earls Sr., correct?
Correct.
How long have you known him?
I met him in 2009.
And do you know Tony Earls Jr.?
I met him a few times.
And you're here to show the support for both of them?
Yes, yes.
You believe your organization can help them?
Yes, so we believe in restorative justice.
Tell me more about that.
We know that sometimes bad things happen to good people. One of the reasons that I created Bridges to Empowerment is because after graduating from high school in 1998, I grew up in the same community of South Park on the southeast side by MLK. And 6 months after graduating from high school, I decided to do 4 carjackings. And it wasn't because I wanted to hurt anybody. And it wasn't because I thought that I would hurt anybody. It was more of the environment that I lived in and what was acceptable that I did it. And I ended up serving time in prison. And coming home from prison November 1st, 2006, I ended up having to go back to the same neighborhood. And it was like a dead end trap there. It wasn't any opportunities or any sense of hope, right? And I left, and I went to TSU and I got my bachelor's degree in marketing. And even having that, it was hard to find jobs. It was hard for me to find jobs with a bachelor's degree because of my background.
Okay, so you're here because you want to provide some support for Tony.
Right. And not just for Tony, but I'm here to provide support for Tony, but I'm here because I want you all to know that there is a network of what we call credible messengers that work with individuals like Tony and that want to continue working with people that come home from prison to help them change their mindset, to help them get on the right track, to help them overcome the trauma of living in these communities. It's hard. And we do have to defend ourselves sometimes. And sometimes we do.
Objection to the narrative.
Question answer, please. You're okay, then.
Do you often work with people on probation?
Yes.
What kind of resources do you provide people on probation?
So we help them find jobs. I will actually go and look for jobs for them. We coach them on how to do the application. We coach them on interviewing. We connect them to other resources. I've had clients that I've given jobs to myself because we want to see them successful. We believe that public safety begins where crime ends, but you can't end crime if you're not taught something different.
Ask the witness.
Stay. No questions. This witness be excused? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Next witness.
At this time, the defense calls Dennis Davis.
Mike, you need this, sir?
Yeah, I'll take care of it, sir.
Defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
My name is Dennis Davis. I'm the court liaison officer, pretty much the probation officer for the 182nd District Court.
Can you explain to them what that means? I know they've seen you sitting behind that computer all week.
I oversee, I'll say, about anywhere from 1,300 to 1,500 probationers out of this court. Once they're placed on supervision, my job is to assign them to other officers that are out in the region, that are in the community.
Can you explain to us how probation works?
Probation has a list of pretty much do's and don'ts. About 20 of the conditions are standard conditions. Don't pick up any new cases, they get drug tested, they have to pay fees, counseling if it's required. So there's a whole list of things that they're required to do.
What is the procedure for getting on probation?
Well, the procedure's gonna be, you guys agree on it. And then, well, once it gets to me, once it comes to me, the first thing that we do is that we do a TRAS. It's the Texas Risk Assessment System. And that gives us a snapshot of the individual, their risks, their needs, their, do they need mental health services? Do they need financial services, transportation, substance abuse services? That when we do this assessment, it gives us a clear idea, well, not a clear, but it does give us a seamless idea of who those individuals are.
What makes somebody eligible for probation?
What makes them eligible for probation?
Yes.
Well, that's a tough thing to say what makes them eligible, because I don't know how to answer that, to be honest.
Do you know if Tony has ever been convicted of a felony in this or any other state?
Not that I know of.
And are there any manslaughter cases in Harris County that are on probation?
Yes, about 85 clients that are on probation currently for manslaughter.
How many in this court?